To a lot of people, it's just a cup of coffee. It's a little thing. But to some others, coffee is this big, gigantic thing where hundreds of people are touching these seeds to make a delicious drink for somebody on the other side.
The coffee scene in Denver right now is kind of crazy. Like, I feel like Denver is really starting to get on the map, you know? Yeah. And you know this because you've taken a couple trips out here, yeah. But it's cool because I've been a part of that for a long time, like before it was on the map. So is Dustin. Sure. And it's exploding right now, man. And I think it's because there's a lot of people who are becoming baristas or who once were baristas that are starting to realize with the example from other people, like, I can start my own company. I can start roasting. I can open up my own shop, you know? Like, why can't I do this for myself? And with the examples of, you know, people like, I guess like me and Dustin and other people in town that have been in coffee for a long time, like, it becomes more of a reality for people in their heads. Like, this person is my same age, you know, because it's this newer generation of kind of younger kids. This person is my same age and they did it, like, I can do it. So basically what's happening right now in the roasting process is we're at about 1:30, and that's when the coffee starts to bottom out, or it's called the delta point, which means that it sucked kind of all the energy and heat that the coffee roaster had in it before the coffee was in there, and it brought the temperature way down, like 200 plus degrees down. And at about 1:30 is when that temperature will start to rise again, and all the energy will start to becoming expelled from the coffee. The coffee scene here is exploding with people wanting to become baristas and get more into the craft of coffee, and like really realizing that they can make a career out of coffee. And it's cool too because consumers are now starting to realize, like, these people who are into coffee are fucking serious. Yeah. They're seriously into coffee, and it's no joke. It's not just a job they're getting as a barista to help pay their way through college. Like, these kids are serious. Yeah. Consumers are coming to shops now and, like, they're getting educated and they're getting an experience like they didn't get 4 years ago in this city and a lot of other cities alike. But I think it's cool to see that as well on the consumer side, that they're starting to get it, you know, that coffee is a big deal. Like, alcohol has been a big deal forever. But man, I just encourage more and more people to do their own thing, to grow as a person and to start their own companies, man. It's hard work, but it's so rewarding, as you know, dude. Like, I mean, if 2 more roasters opened on each side of me in this building, I'd be stoked.
It'd be perfect, right?
It'd be awesome. I want everybody to succeed in coffee, you know, because I want to succeed, and everybody's going to do something different, which is another thing I love about the coffee scene, is that everybody opening up shops, the aesthetics are different, they're carrying different roasters, which is great because I love diversity in my everyday choices as a consumer as well. So that's really cool. With all the amazing roasters in Denver coming out, doing amazing work, buying amazing coffee, green coffee, it's becoming increasingly difficult to buy coffees that other people in the city aren't buying, just because everybody's doing a good job. And everybody knows, like, what amazing coffee tastes like, and they want to buy that. So it's becoming increasingly difficult, but it is like my mission as a roaster and a green coffee buyer. Now I'm thinking locally, not globally for myself. It's my mission to buy different green coffee from other people. Because it goes back to like how I like the diversity and going and drinking different coffees in different shops and different aesthetics. That carries over with how I buy green coffee. And it's hard, man. I'm gonna pause for a second. So we're like 10 degrees away from first crack. And first crack is a chemical reaction that happens when the coffee gets heated to a certain temperature. Every coffee has this reaction at a different temperature. A lot of them are right around 380 degrees Fahrenheit, but it's an endothermic reaction where this coffee bean is releasing all of these sugars, and I always say energy. I use the word energy a lot. It releases a bunch of energy within inside itself, and that's where all the magic starts happening.
Oh yeah. I think a lot.
So we're cracking right now. So I'll kind of like, I want to turn down my heat a little bit. Then I want to open my airflow more, just because it's emitting a lot of things right now. It's emitting all sorts of gases, and there's going to come a point where there's some carbon coming off of the coffee, and I just want all that like nasty stuff sucked out, because it'll show in the cup. Just like a little bit of that stuff, it shows in the cup. And when I roast coffee, I try to roast. I roast pretty light. Yeah. I like to highlight the sweetness and really like to highlight the acidity in the coffee. So I try to roast for a very clean and sweet cup. Yeah. What everyone else is trying to do too. Yeah. When I first get a coffee and it's like the first roast, I don't apply any of my roasting knowledge to that coffee. I put it in there. I have like this set recipe, and I let it do its thing. And then I just observe what that coffee is going to do. Then after doing that like 2 or 3 times, then I'll start applying my knowledge and what I know about roasting to that coffee. So this little thing is called a trier. And you turn it, and you're able to capture some coffee beans in the trier. Then I'm watching for color change, and ooh. And when I smell it, I'm smelling for like this peak sweetness point. It really like hits your nostrils and just pierces you.
That's when you know when to drop it.
Then I take it a little further from that.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Yeah, baby.
That never gets old. Never gets old seeing coffee come out of that roaster. I went to Panama. It was my first trip to Origin, and at the time I was working for 90 Plus Coffee.
Yeah.
And I was my job to go to Panama was to finish up what 90 Plus calls the Red Project. Yeah. Their Red and their Ruby projects, where the coffee that they grow in Panama, they take it a little bit deeper into the natural process, which causes the influence of that cherry, of that fruit, just way more on the seed. So it was my job to go down there and kind of educate these ladies how to sort those coffees and what proper Ruby looks like and what proper Red looks like. And that was just different levels of fermentation, you know? Man, I was humbled to work for them. I mean, you know, you were just down in Origin. Time there was life-changing, man. Like, not even just like seeing coffee, like laying my eyes on a growing coffee plant for the first time, but watching people work on the farm in coffee. I was fucking humbled, man. I like had to take a step back and think about my life and how I live my life, you know, and the things that I take for granted each day. That, man, coffee is about coffee, but coffee is about people too, man. Like in the consumer environment, being a barista, Of course, you want to make the best cup of coffee you can, but it's about customer service, man. It is about customer service and making every person who walks through that door feel welcome because they're choosing to go there. Because as people, we really go, 3 places a day. We go home, we go to our place of business, then we go to another place that we choose to spend our free time, right? So I feel that those people who are coming into our coffee bars to spend their free time, I want to make their day, man. I want to make their day. And hopefully they like the coffee too. But that's cool that everyone in Denver's saying that. I feel that from everybody, man.